Solving Maynard's Puzzle, Part 3. The first two videos were about how each of Maynard's albums correlate to the 8 circuits of consciousness model, and how they describe humanity's sense of time evolving. This video is all about how Enema describes how humans developed memory. Each video will show how each album describes humans' sense of time evolving through history. After that I will make videos about all the other concepts in their albums. It will make more sense this way. I am skipping Opiate and Undertow for now just because there was a ton of requests for me to do Enema. I will go back and make those videos later. The exact date doesn't matter, but Enema is about the time period when humans began creating written language, number systems, and developing a sense of past and future. I would say it's probably the transition period between proto-history to ancient history, but I'm not a history expert, so. Stinkfist, at the core, this song is about recognizing our male biological sexual patterns, and looking into the near past, seeing how being overstimulated caused us and being desensitized. This song is the opposite, it is the female beginning to recognize the pattern of the menstrual cycle, and she is recognizing that the sickness after being raped is because of pregnancy. Under these tears the walls came down. This is a reference to the song Cold and Ugly, when he says, hidden in her words and eyes is a wall that's cold and ugly and she's scared as hell, so just from that you can make that this is told from a woman's perspective. What's holding up is a mirror. But what's singing songs is a snake, looking to turn this piss to wine. She is beginning to see the man isn't so scary and is somewhat like her, but he's coming around trying to convince her to fuck. My blood before me begs me open up my heart again. This describes a woman's monthly period. And I feel this coming over like a storm again. She's noticing a pattern. Days away I still feel you, touching me, changing me, and considerately killing me. This described pregnancy sickness. She doesn't know what's actually happening, because these were early humans. And the snake is drowned, and as I look in his eyes, my fear begins to fade, recalling all of those times. His dick is in her, she's starting to accept it, realizing all those other times it didn't kill her. I am too connected to you to slip away, to fade away. She's starting to have feelings for him, and this is a reference point for the song Push It. Eulogy. Humans are realizing that we have a limited lifespan. But also they are beginning to see a little further into the future. They are thinking about how people will remember them. Enema. This song is very comparable to Eulogy, in how it's looking much further into the future, predicting how all humanity will end. Useful idiot. Yes, it's just the noise of a vinyl, repeating over and over, like a nagging wife, or a dumb husband. It is believed this is the time period when humans began to marry. 64 and 2. It's about realizing there's more to humans than just right now. We have a future, and we can shape ourselves. I think in a very subtle way it describes when men started keeping track of their babies. I think it also represents when humans started experimenting with breeding. Message to Hairy Man Back. This is an example of how humans developed written language, and now that we have a better sense of the past, we started wanting revenge for every petty thing. Hooker with a penis. Our senses of defense and distrust have now evolved into sensing hypocrisy. Or you could look at it like he's saying, no, I planned all this, because his future planning skills are better than the rest. Intermission. Time passing. Maybe it's skipping the 9 months pregnancy cycle, or maybe it's skipping ahead 11 years, who knows, but it's definitely one of those two. Jimmy. Self-reflecting on the past. With the invention of numbers comes the use of age as a reference point, remembering exactly when something happened. People will generally assume that this song is about Maynard's personal life, but it's really more just an example of how traumatic events cause humans to develop a better memory. Dyer von Satan. With the invention of numbers and measuring systems comes elaborate methods of cooking, rather than just the meat over fire method. Push it. The gap is a missing chunk of time, as though the character blacked out while being rape attacked. Zero-sum ability. Of course, after the invention of numbers and math, they eventually created the concept of infinity. As I already mentioned, the song Anima is about predicting the end of humanity. Now think how zero-sum ability is a concept dealing with infinity. You get this comparison, the ending versus infinity. One says humanity will end, the other says humanity will continue forever. Both these tracks are back to back. I'm very sure that was not by accident. Ions. Obviously we didn't learn to harness electricity until much later, but I think this electrical power noise represents the dawn of human slavery, using people for their work energy. Maybe also it represents the early stages of humans creating medicine. Third Eye. It's sort of a continuation of the song Push It. He's trying really hard to remember what happened. The point is, without a very tragic past experience, we wouldn't have developed the need to reach that far back into our memory. And with that better developed ability to see into the past, we also developed an imagination and the ability to see into the future. That's basically what the third eye is, that drawing board inside our minds.